Back in November 2020, Proguides started their Wild Rift YouTube channel and have become the biggest YouTube channel in the Wild Rift community. Fast forward a year later and the channel got shut down without further notice. In this video, we will be digging deep into the Proguides YouTube channel with some secret inside information and talk about the success and the downfall of the Proguides Wild Rift YouTube channel. Proguides made their tribute to Wild Rift by making the video the 5 biggest differences between Wild Rift and League of Legends. This became an immediate hit, generating hundreds of thousands of views, and Proguides started to create multiple videos per week, which turned into daily videos very fast. They were gaining over 1 million views per month during their entrance in the Wild Rift content creation journey, and the reason that the channel blew up was because Wild Rift was a new game and gamers were looking for beginner guides. But this is also what became the ultimate demise to Proguides. Proguides Wild Rift had the highest production value and made amazing videos for beginners to get a basic understanding of how to get into Wild Rift, and the growth of Proguides Wild Rift YouTube channel accelerated even further with the release of Wild Rift in regions such as Southeast Asia and Europe. We can see that Proguides Wild Rift peaked in April 2020. This is exactly when Wild Rift was released in Brazil and North America. Proguides Wild Rift was driving over 100,000 views every single day at this point. But this is also when the inevitable downfall started. Now you may ask, why does the line only go downwards from here? Because at this moment, Proguides had the largest Wild Rift channel by far on YouTube. How could it possibly collapse so dramatically? At this moment, Proguides was creating top-notch quality content, production-wise, with hosts like Kangas and Nathan and a whole team behind the scenes to make sure that they can create a solid community to keep the channel going. Now, why did Proguides lose their credibility so fast, and why did the channel become sort of a meme in the community? So, the content for the Proguides YouTube channel was mainly created by people from NA or outside sources that weren't as heavily involved in Wild Rift as they should have been. So while the videos had outstanding production quality, the actual information was always lacking. As beginners, we didn't quite understand anything about the game, so the Proguides videos looked like gold mines of information in the beginning. Add amazing production on top of that, and it becomes the perfect content to consume, right? But after a while, Wild Rift became a more established game with players who were above the beginner level, of course, and they saw through the low quality content of Proguides and they abandoned the channel. Now, the big bosses of the Proguides Wild Rift YouTube channel only really cared about numbers. Their philosophy was that to make the best videos, they have to hire the quote-unquote best. This was also why they spent such a huge amount of money on their YouTube channel to create content. To my estimates, they've spent at least tens of thousands of dollars to create content for their channel, while they could have spent only a fraction of that to create similar content if they had just hired people who had actual knowledge of Wild Rift and some cheaper workers behind the scene. This is what ultimately happened. Proguides ditched quite a few of the expensive workers and completely changed the way of running the channel. Proguides used to pay per action. So for example, worker X edits a video and gets X amount of money for it, right? Now they changed it to sharing the revenue of the channel over the existing workers. After cutting down all the expensive workers, the ones that were left to share the revenue were Bot for the channel management, Kirks for the challenger gameplay and insight, Findy for gameplay and editing, and then Terry for news-related things. This change resulted in a more free atmosphere where these people were able to create content the community loved instead of content that was just supposed to drive high numbers. This still didn't solve the decline of the channel, as obviously the production quality had taken a massive hit and more people were leaving than joining the channel. In October after the change, the channel was finally starting to pick up again as the remaining members of Proguides were able to create content that was not only good for absolute beginners, but also good for existing players. The future of the channel was finally starting to look good and sustainable again. Another important thing that changed in Proguides was freedom in speech. Before this change, the leader of Proguides forbid any type of negative talk about Wild Rift and only wanted to have happy faces in the video and have them talk about how amazing the game is. This obviously shows a fake face, as the game was going through massive problems, which were instead highlighted by other content creators, while Proguides was still making videos like how to rank up or how to play jungle. All this while Wild Rift was falling apart and game quality was absolutely horrible. After the change, however, they were allowed to make their own content, and they decided to make videos talking about the issues as well as the normal Proguides content. And this is what gained credibility from the community for the new Proguides YouTube channel. To make the Proguides channel more sustainable in the long term, there were plans to introduce channel membership to provide extra perks for viewers that were willing to contribute to the channel with a monthly payment. This actually went live in November and was pulling great numbers, and everything was looking great. And to make this even better, the remaining members had the amazing idea for a way to monetize the big viewership of the YouTube channel. They wanted to create courses and exclusive content that viewers could watch for a payment. This would be a great addition to the channel, as there were a lot of viewers willing to get good at the game at the cost of some money. This got denied by upper management of Proguides, however, and no one really said anything to support the remaining crew, as the decision of the upper management is just final. The culture behind the Proguides company is all revolved around what the big boss wants, even though the big boss doesn't always know what the best decision truly is. But why did the channel just suddenly stop? You know, it was still going pretty well, even though they weren't allowed to create courses and extra exclusive content behind the paywall. But what ended up causing that sudden shutdown? November 14th, a company called Statespace acquires Proguides to quote-unquote further the company's mission to build Statespace's existing pro coaching offering into the world's best platform to help players improve their skill at games. This acquisition meant that there is a new big boss, right? And on the same day, yes, exactly on the same day that the upper management changed, they mentioned that the Proguides Wild Rift YouTube channel will be shut down with no further notice. I mean, on the exact same day, they weren't even willing to spend a single minute to discuss other potential solutions. And this left all the members like, what the hell is happening? You know, we wanna continue the channel, but what happened? So being reliant on such a big company that only cares about profit is extremely dangerous if you do it with a YouTube channel, for example. Because YouTube channels are not all about the revenue. It is also about the community and knowing what the community wants and how to keep the channel afloat. But all this didn't matter to Statespace. They just shut down the channel and boom, it is over. Now, is this the end of Proguides? Yes and no. It is the end of the Proguides YouTube channel with no further notice, and I don't think it is gonna come back, unfortunately. But the ex-members of the Proguides team that were remaining in their YouTube channel decided to start their own YouTube channel named Rift Guides. They are basically only taking the good out of Proguides and putting it on their YouTube channel. Their name is not known across the community yet, but sooner or later they will rise on YouTube, as their videos are actually good for veteran players as well as beginners. There is a link in the description and in the top comment to their YouTube channel. Please check them out, guys. They are amazing, and I just really want to support people like this, you know, who take matter into their own hand, and they're creating amazing content as well. Just check it out, and thank you very much to them, because this video wouldn't be possible without them, as they provided me with some inside information to share with you guys. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe, check them out in the top comment, and I'll see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.